We are in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Peace, prayer, and knowledge.
I'm Soul Sister J,
I'm Soul Sister D.
and I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who helped to the medical fundraiser for my uncle Taalik. And it has meant so much to us that you would help, because without you guys, his life would not be possible and we would not be with him today right now. And I just wanted to say, for all of you that helped and that donated, I would really like to give a big thanks, and I hope that I can meet you one day and say thank you in person. I love you guys, and next.
Okay, thank you for.
That's all I'm gonna say. Alright. First of all, this video is inspired by Alberta Parrish. She does not know I'm doing this. I ordered this book, God is on Trial. I ordered this book from Amazon, and I must say I've read it. It's very well written, very thought-provoking.
Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing.
When the documentary Oh My God, Master Farad came out by Shabazz Productions, it stunned anyone who dared to watch it. That was on April 20th, 2012, and it contained over 4 hours of mind-blowing material. Many people didn't want it to be seen. So to stop the bleeding, those who didn't want the truth out immediately began to criticize the film. Oh my God, Master Farad, the one who was incarcerated. Now the film is even stronger. It's been expanded with 3 extra DVDs with even more powerful information, new photos, and much more. Don't wait. Get the documentary now. Get it while it's available in its purest form. Or make the mistake of searching for a copy 5 years from now when it's selling for over $300. You know, one of those bootleg copies that's been re-edited and all chopped up. You were advised. See an all-new stunning photograph of Master Farad at the time of his arrest, and who was also arrested, seated next to him. See the gravesite and location where Master Farad, the man who taught Elijah Muhammad, is buried. This all-new 5-DVD, 9-hour documentary is a researcher's dream come true. Oh my God. It's an educational masterpiece.
Clearly, you've been drinking too much Similac milk. I'm going to tell you this. Now, look. If you do not have proper brain development, you cannot think. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not none of that. But I noticed something, y'all. I noticed there's something wrong with the generation that started coming after me. And one of the problems with the generation that come after me is they were raised not on mother's milk, but they were raised on Similac, Enfamil. You're not going to tell me if you was raised on Enfamil and Similac that you have all your thinking capability. That's your problem. That's why you can't comprehend. You sound smart, but y'all don't think worth a damn. You have no critical thinking ability. Because it is impossible for Similac milk to develop a fully functioning brain the way it needs to be formed. It's impossible. If that's the case, you're telling me that Enfamil and Similac is just as good as your mama's breast milk, which clearly she denied you, and which clearly, even from the Enfamil Similac company, they would tell you that mama's breast milk is better for you than Enfamil. It's better for you than cow's milk. Now, I'm not going to say because I was raised on my mother's breast, or my generation, and most of us, especially of us, many of us that was born in the country, because some of these city folks was raised on cow's milk and that infamil garbage. But a lot of times, most of the people in the rural areas where I was raised, where I come from, a lot of us was born at the house and we were on our mama's breast. That's why I'm close to my mama. And many of them, when I was growing up, we were close to our mothers because many of us was raised on her breast. And so I don't give a damn what women do. You're not going to never see me come out here and bash my sisters. I do it in privacy when we talk among each other, whatever, because they are not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. But I would never do what these bums, these men wannabes, what they do. Whole channels dedicated to blaming women for their problems and talking about how they'll beat up women and just dumb stuff. They want to rule over women and children because they are being ruled by this Peckerwood. So you want to feel like a man by beating up women and children and the elderly. That's why they always say, you need to be quiet, old man. Because that's the only way they feel good. Because they feel like they have some kind of power by beating up on old men, women, and children. I just had somebody on YouTube talk about, I need to sit down, old man. See, they feel good saying that because they are a bunch of cowards, pieces of filth. What kind of man could you be? Then they really think women's supposed to respect them. I don't know what woman would respect you. You're a pathetic piece of trash. That's what you are. Piece of filth. You deserve to be flushed down the toilet bowl. The only way you can feel like a man, you gotta jump on women, children, and the elderly. Somebody who you think you can whoop. But these racists, the only thing you're gonna do is talk. You're not gonna stand up. You're not gonna do nothing with them. Most of y'all work for these racists because they put water in your house. They put food on your table. You're not gonna mess with them. If I control your food supply, if I control your water, you'll do me the same damn way. Y'all a bunch of cowards. Pitiful men, pathetic, sissies. When I was growing up, and when you watch those old sitcoms, hey, what's up there, Allison? Oh yeah, no doubt. The sisters needed to. I'll let somebody else who deal with the sisters. But see, this is how I feel. When the men straighten up, when the men stand tall, when the men get their act right, you don't have to worry about the sisters. They have no choice but to get on the train. That's just how things work. And then mother and father straighten up these bad children that you got, that you allow these others to teach and influence. The man got to stand up. Women can't deal with no men. It takes a man to deal with a man. If you're black man, if the soul brothers don't stand up against our enemies, if the job won't get done. Now you sisters can deal with your Caucasian counterpart. You can do that. But dealing with this man, it takes a man. Just like when it comes to God, it takes a God to deal with a God. Ordinary believer or person on the ground can't do it. Takes a God to deal with a God. Takes an adult to deal with an adult. A child can't deal with an adult. Well, maybe they can nowadays because it don't take much to pull a trigger. Bang, bang, bang. I've seen many children take out an adult. But as it should go, children can't deal with no adult. It takes an adult to deal with adults. So this pisses me off because I have not done anything to you. You stalking me, trolling me, making mockery. I have not done nothing to these people except reject your belief, your opinion. I don't want it.
I keep it real.
What, dear? Because I keeps it real like that.
I keeps it real.
Another short video. Alrighty then. On this visit, let us get busy. I was just thinking, because this is the Reality Temple, so we need to look at things in the most real sense that we can. I want to talk about the soul. Most of us relate to what is called the soul. Our definition is based on religious teachings, whereas when this physical body no longer functions and death proclaims this flesh, then what is known as the soul is forced to evacuate this body. And this soul or the spirit leaves and goes to heaven or hell or a place in the middle until the judgment day, according to some religious teachings. Now, this video should be short because I just want to make us think. I don't know what this soul looked like, or this spirit. As of this time, we can't bottle the soul up. We have no idea. We have no idea of what it is. There are no machines that can spot. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's that word I'm looking for? Anyway, there's no machine that can verify, or you can put this machine around a dying person and the machine can analyze and you can see something that we can say, that's our soul. See, some people are idiots. They always talk about, you can't see air, you can't see this. There are machines that can show us air. You can take a cigarette, blow it into the atmosphere, and it floats on something. There's something that can verify there is an existence. We may not know what it is. Our eyes may not be able to detect. That's the word I was looking for, detect. A machine that can detect the spirit. A machine that can detect the soul leaving the body. So that is why in religion we are asked to believe this teaching about the existence of a soul, because we have no machine that can detect. There are machines that can detect air, carbon dioxide, gases that we cannot see or smell. We have machines that can do that. We sometimes can rely on animals. There are certain animals that can detect these different gases. We know that they exist. We know they exist because we can take them, manipulate them, and use the gas, these things that we can't see, even these germs. We need microscopes to see the germs, but they can detect. We have found these are real, and anything that is real, we can take it and manipulate it so that it can benefit ourselves. Because that's our reality. Anything that we know of in our reality, if we can detect it, we can use it. It could be real. Just because you cannot see it, just because you cannot touch it, don't mean it don't exist. But until we can have a machine or an animal or a tree, something that can make us to know that this is our reality, then it is fiction. It is fantasy. So that's why, again, we are asked to believe in the spirit of the body. But there has to be something. Something has to cause us to function the way we do. What is causing our heads to move, for us to speak, for us to be who we are? We have to have a soul. In the black community a long time ago, we used to have soul. And what was soul? Soul was really just simply having the happiness in life. The ability to express our emotion. You can feel our emotion when we dance. You can feel our emotion when we sing. You can feel our emotion even when we were slaves on the plantation. No matter what we did, you could feel our emotion. So our music by black people was used to be called soul music, because you could feel the emotion. Now it's called R&B, rhythm and blues. Music, but it has no soul. And you can see that the soul has left, because the people that listen to R&B and any music that don't have no soul, look at them. They don't know what love is. They don't feel, they emotionless. But that's not my subject. But you understand. Because if we had our soul black man and woman, you couldn't go on YouTube and be talking about another black man the way you do. If we had soul black people, we wouldn't be calling the black woman a hoe and a bitch if we had our soul. This generation of black people, I call them dark Europeans, and that's what you are and have become, because unlike black people, you've gone backwards. Because when you disrespect the black woman, when you shoot down black men in the street by your own hand, ain't no white cop, ain't nobody white did a damn thing. You're doing it to yourself because you lost your soul. You lost your emotion and feeling for your own people. That's why it's easy for you to do. So don't tell me don't have a beef with a dark European, because I know that dark European has lost his soul. And that which has lost its soul is dead. Anything that don't have a soul has died. Exactly what is the soul in our reality? I'm not talking about figurative, in our reality. The soul, or that which we call the soul, or we know it as a soul, simply, brothers and sisters, you don't want to hear this, because we've been influenced by religious teachings. But our soul could simply just be the proper functioning of a brain. Remember the scarecrow from The Wiz? If I only had a brain. You are not legally dead until the brain stops functioning. When a person goes into a comatose state or a vegetable-like state, they have lost the functioning of their brain. So you have a body that is heart beating, lungs breathing, but they look like they're dead. And when you look like you're dead, or when you're dead, you lose your soul. So the reality of it must be, the soul really must be your brain. And the black people in this country, we are called Negro. That was the first thing we were called. I believe it is in the Greek language. The C and the K are interchangeable with the G. So instead of being called Negro, you would be called Necro or Necro. And Necro is the suffix of necrology or necrologist. Necro means dead. Necrology is the study of the dead. And anything that has died has lost its spirit, has lost its soul, has lost its ability to use your brain. So that is why, brothers and sisters, we live today, and the black man or woman in America, we are emotionless because we've lost our soul. Because we've lost our ability to properly use our brain, we have become comatose. But now the time has come that past teachings be brought to a higher evolution or put to the side, period. And a new idea, a new creation must come, a new way of thinking to pump life. So now it's time to give these dead people, these people called Negro or Negro or, hey, my nigger, it's time for us to give them CPR to get their heart pumping. But if the brain dies, it don't make no difference what you do to the heart. It don't make no difference what you do to the lungs. Because once the brain dies, which is your soul for real, then you're dead. Then a body will be there, it will be functioning, but it serves no purpose. It might as well have be dead, because once your brain gone, it's the soul. We who are black people in America, we don't function like living people. We function like we're comatose. We're breathing. Our hearts are beating, but our brain is dead. And you want to know something about people that's in comas? People who are in vegetable-like conditions? You ever notice? Have you ever seen these people? They can smile. Some of them can talk. But they're lifeless. And that's how we are. We talk. We can dance. We do many things as a people. But we're lifeless. Because dead people can't influence nothing. Only the living can influence the dead, but the dead can't influence and do nothing. And that's how we are. Because we're mentally dead. We've lost our soul. And we're happy to say rhythm and blues. Because we're comatose. Because we got the rhythm and we can't feel blue, but we lost our soul. So soul music don't exist no more. Only comatose music is left. Brothers and sisters, just think about it. Your soul is your brain. Once your brain goes, that's it. That's the real soul. Not nothing spooky. Not no spirit flying out of your body going, once this brain is gone, you're through. And we as a people in this nation, we are through because we've lost the ability to properly use our brains. Thank you for listening. This is your brother, Taalik Ibn'rad. Jot down your comment. This was and is the Reality's Temple on In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I'm your host of this particular program, known here on social media as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your brother, soul brother that is, number one, and your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Okay, I want to supplement a video I made probably a few years ago. And the topic or the subject that I had chosen for that video was the brain is your soul, not a spirit. Like I said a few years ago, now since that time, I was hoping and I have been waiting for somebody to give a valid, credible refute to what I presented. So far, there has been none. What I would like to today continue our talk about your soul is the brain. It is not a spirit. We want to continue to talk about that based on the concept, our understanding, our belief in what we were taught within religious belief systems, whether that be Christianity, Judaism, Islam, or any other, whereas they teach that the reason why we are living is because this physical body is possessed by a soul. So in religious teachings, what we're going to do, since this is the Reality's Temple on Earth, we are going to try to put our spin on what is being taught, but bring it and present it in a more real way of viewing the soul. Now, so religion tells us that the soul resides and it is the life of the body. Now, those of us, and I'm very sure some of you watch these detective stories and homicide stories and, you know, these violent stories and even the local news. And we are taught and we have experienced in our lives persons who have passed this life, they have died. And as far as I know, a person is never declared legally dead until the brain stops functioning, until they believe that the person is brain dead. The heart can continue to pump. Matter of fact, I heard that Muhammad Ali, the greatest, the boxer Muhammad Ali, on his deathbed, they said that his brain was gone, but his heart continued to pump. But Muhammad Ali was declared dead because his brain had died. But his heart, and you can continue to breathe, and you can continue to, your heart can continue to pump, and all these other functions can continue, but if your brain is dead, they consider you gone. The brain, so if your brain is gone, what is that telling us? The soul has left the building. So the brain must be the soul, because if everything else is functioning, but the brain does not function, you are declared legally dead. Thus, the soul has left the body. Where does the brain reside? The brain resides in the skull. In this area, it is called a temple. A temple is called, or also called, a house. The brain resides inside a temple. The brain resides in a house. The brain resides in this body. The soul resides in a physical body. Again, everything can work in the body. But if the brain dies, then the soul has left. Isn't it ironic? Shouldn't you question the fact that the brain, once the brain dies, the body is gone? You're not declared dead until the brain has been declared that it is dead. And you're not dead or considered dead until the soul leaves the body. And when the brain stops functioning, the body is considered dead. The soul has left the body. There is no other way that we can look at this. The brain is the tool. The brain is the only way that you can experience this world. Without the brain, you can have ears, but you cannot hear. Without a brain, you can have eyes, but you cannot see. Without a brain, you can have a mouth, but you cannot talk. You have nothing to talk about. The brain is our only way to experience life. You can have everything, hands and feet, eyes and ears and mouth, but without the brain, it doesn't matter. It is your way, it is our way to experience life. And once the brain dies, you might as well be dead, because you can't experience life anymore. The soul has left the body. You are a Muslim. You are a Christian. You are a Hebrew Israelite. You are Kemetic. You are all these things, and we speak about our soul and our spirit. But if it was not for the brain, you could not speak about anything. The brain gives you choice. The brain gives you the ability to even make you believe in a soul or think that you have a soul. It is your brain. If your brain stops functioning, you would not care anything about Jesus. When the brain stops functioning, you do not care nothing about Muhammad or Kemet or anything at all. It is the brain. But we will not acknowledge the reality of the brain. The brain makes all of this possible for us. Without the brain, life for us would not exist. during the slavery of dark-skinned people, and we are the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, I was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that we were made lost, deaf, dumb, and blind. What does this mean? This means that we were robbed of knowledge. We were robbed of the knowledge of self. We were robbed of the knowledge of the life that we once lived. It was all taken away and we became a shell without a brain. Although we had a physical brain, everything was wiped out. Like when we have our computer hard drive cleaned, it is wiped out, and you have to start all over again programming your computer. And so this is what happened over a period of years to dark-skinned people in this nation. Some of us, in fact, the majority of us, have no idea. We do not have any idea of what the original programming was. And to make sure that we stay, since our brain is always thinking, since our brain is always scanning, since our brain represents life, and life is ever changing and curious and always want to know, the slave master made it against the law for the slave to read or write. The slave masters made it against the law for the slave to gain knowledge. Because knowledge, and we make a reference back to religious teachings about the God took soil, the God took dirt and raised that dirt and that soil up. And into that dirt, into that soil, into that mud, that God breathed into that soul life. Wow. When you feed your brain, when the brain is given knowledge, and the brain is your soul and it resides in the body, when you give it knowledge, you are breathing into the body, you are breathing into this dirt, the breath of life. And then this dirt in this body, this slave, becomes a living soul. Wow, man. See, I can explain my version of the soul. You can't explain your version because it's very difficult to explain the unexplainable. It is very difficult to explain something that is outside of your reality. We cannot speak about the dead because we are living. Death is outside of our reality. We have no idea of what occurs after that. No idea. And our brain does not function to that level. The brain is not designed. The brain is designed for life. This brain is designed, this soul is designed to function within the life that we were given within this reality. Your computer can only function within a certain environment. It was not designed for outside of our reality. Because you don't know. How can the brain, how can the computer speak about that which you don't know? Because it all must be programmed. We can only speak about the rock and the deer and the grass and space and anything of these natures that our mind can comprehend. and we can imagine, but imagination doesn't necessarily mean it will become a reality. Some things are fiction and will remain fiction because it's outside of the reality of how we came into being, how we were created. It could change, but not in our lifetime, not in the present, has not done so in hundreds of years. So brothers and sisters, let's speak about it. When you talk about your soul, the soul is your brain. Feed your brain knowledge, not real knowledge, and you will see that it will function for you much better than giving a real brain fictional data.